Today's a very sad day because my camera has run out of battery and it is sat stagnant behind the webcam you're watching this on. But today is also a very exciting day because we're not composing based on a random prompt. We are composing for a podcast. We are making in FL Studio today a quick 30-second jingle for a podcast called the Highbridge Podcast. So let's whip one up and see what we come out with. I quite like the style of the kind of Great British Bake Off, plucky strings, happy days, that kind of thing. And I think it will really fit with this podcast. So let's switch on over to the keyboard and we'll see how we get on. Okay, so I think I've got a kind of basic bass riff here. It kind of plays a little something like this. And so then we can kind of expand on that with a bit more kind of upper bits. I've gone for what is quite a I don't want to say generic. It's quite a well-known, path well-trodden chord progression here, with a bit of a nice, funky, upbeat rhythm. And the reason why I'm going for that is because it's quite, and I mean this in a very good way, it's quite middle of the road. It's hard to hate. It's hard to listen to and not kind of feel uplifted by. And that's always a safe bet when composing these kinds of types and styles. Nice little twinkle on the viola line. I think clarinet. It's always clarinet. Every episode we've had a clarinet. I'm going to do it again. What I'm going to do, I'm going to improvise a little top line over the top of all of these. Just like so. Okay, I think that's a really lovely little line. Minus that one mistake that I just fixed. I think we need some nice warm trombones just to spice things up in the end there. Right, let's get some cymbals. Some cymbal rises in there. Right. I think that sounds just about good enough for this little composition. Now I'm going to record in some voiceover that can be used in the actual idents. And I thought that'd be interesting to show you as a process. So now I'm actually in Adobe Audition, and I'm going to be recording into this and using this for my voiceover. So the composition is very simple. But when you lay over a voiceover, you kind of don't want it too complex, or otherwise it kind of detracts from the actual thing that you're saying. So let's see how it goes anyway. You're listening to the Highbridge Podcast, celebrating the people, places, and history of the Highbridge area in Sedgemoor. Let's try that. Okay, I'm happy with that take, just about. I mean, I hate my own voice, but we can cope. So what I'm going to be doing now is a quick little vocal process, just to get it sounding nice. Celebrating the people, places, and history of the Highbridge area in Sedgemoor. Beautiful. Let's get my EQ going. You're listening to the Highbridge Podcast, celebrating the people, places, and history of the Highbridge area in Sedgemoor. Let's get in some of my favourite stuff. iZotope have some amazing restoration plugins for the voice. They have vocal denoise, which is amazing, really great denoiser, but most crucially for me, declick gets rid of all your horrible mouth noises like that. And you can hear them by outputting only the clicks. It's disgusting and I hate it. Let's also just throw a bit of compression on as well. Celebrating the people, places, and history of the Highbridge area in Sedgemoor. Listening to the Highbridge Podcast. Celebrating the people, places. I'm also just going to chuck a de-esser on the top of this clip as well, just so you don't hear all my sibilants. And history of the Highbridge area in Sedgemoor. That's now waffly and fat. You're listening to the Highbridge Podcast, celebrating the people, places. And the best way to do this here, I find, is just by clicking dialogue on essential sound and then clicking music on the other and just turning on ducking. And you want your sensitivity quite high. You want your duck amount to be actually surprisingly a bit lower. They're quite brutal with it for some reason. And I like nice fast fades as well so that it dips in and out when there are other bits of the clip. And now I'm also going to absolutely, in true radio fashion, just annihilate the shit out of my own track by throwing a massive beefy compressor on that too. Right, I think that about wraps it up. Do you want to hear what we've finally made? Here we go. You're listening to the Highbridge Podcast, celebrating the people, places, and history of the Highbridge area in Sedgemoor. There you go. Perfect 30-second little promo, little jingle type deal. So that is a quick run through of how I would create a jingle for a podcast. In this particular example, it was for the Highbridge Podcast, which you can see in the link in the description below if you are interested. Well, thanks for watching. I know it's been slightly different to the usual composing challenge videos, but I've got one more of these kind of sidetrack different on-the-job style videos where I just kind of run you through something I'm working on as a project. And then after that, it's fair game, whatever you guys want to see. So if you've been enjoying these and if you want to see more, let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching and I will see you in the next one.